All right, I'm Greg Cummings, the CEO of Power100, and we are here at Valerie and Neil's house. And they had their roof repaired, and then a couple years later, actually had it replaced by both PJ Fitzpatrick. We're excited to hear their story as we continue to evaluate PJ Fitzpatrick on an annual and ongoing basis to give you proof of why they are the #1 company in the United States. So let's go talk to them. Come on. We have the pleasure of sitting down with Miss Val. She has used PJ Fitzpatrick a number of times, and thank you, first of all, for letting us come into your home.
You're welcome.
And we appreciate you taking the time to talk to us about PJ Fitzpatrick, as we briefly caught you up on. We are here to make sure the best companies get recognition, but we don't just take people's word for it. We want to go out and we want to be a part of it. We want to see, feel, and talk to the people that have experienced and used these companies across the country. So thank you again.
Great, thanks.
So I want to start from the beginning, if it's okay. What attracted you to pick up the phone and first call PJ Fitzpatrick? Why them?
You mean just recently or way back 10 years ago?
Okay, so all right. Wait. Okay, so what do you mean? So 10 years ago, what happened 10 years ago?
So 10 years ago, our roof was about 20 years old. We noticed a leak up on the roof, and PJ Fitzpatrick was the one we called. I'm not sure why we picked PJ Fitzpatrick. We had seen their trucks, I'm not sure that we got a recommendation from anybody. We certainly did our homework online looking at them, and we decided to go with them. They came out, they did a fantastic job. We loved the workers. It was a pleasure having them here fixing the house.
And so then fast forward the 10 years or so, what happened there?
So then a large branch, it looked more like a tree than a branch, hit the house and took out windows. It took out a big door, a big expensive door downstairs. It took out a vast majority of the roof. It actually came over the house. And once we saw it, we got our insurance involved, and the insurance agency said, get whoever you like to give us a quote. And I immediately went to PJ Fitzpatrick, because we had someone out here years ago, like maybe 5 years ago, giving us a quote on the roof, but we just weren't ready to pull the trigger. But now with the branch falling, we figured, let's pull the trigger. The roof is 30 years old. PJ Fitzpatrick had done the repairs before. They know what they're doing. We liked their work, so we went with them.
Well, one, I'm hearing, it's glad to know that their repairs lasted you basically to the end of that roof, right, until outside force came on.
Right.
And then when you actually picked up the phone to call PJ again 10 years later, it's really cool that the same phone number worked, right? I mean,
it did.
In today's world, that's almost an anomaly. How was your experience of the folks that actually came out when they replaced the roof? Like, what was that experience like for a lot of homeowners out there? It can be a nerving experience saying, hey, yeah, come on over here, rip my roof off, and, fix it. What were they like when they were here?
It was a great experience. First of all, we couldn't believe how quickly and competently they did the whole job. I mean, they were in here, I think, and this is a huge roof. It took them a day and a half, I think, or maybe 2. I'm not sure. Neil would know, but I can't remember. And they absolutely were professional. They were nice. We brought them.
Come on, give me something here, Val. I need to have something that they could have maybe done better.
No, we brought them donuts. We were so thrilled with them.
That's awesome.
Coffee and donuts in the morning, the second morning, because we were like, oh, they're so wonderful. No, and they were efficient. We were thrilled, absolutely thrilled with the work that they did.
That's so cool. We love to hear that, and hearing it straight from you means so much to us. And I know the viewers will appreciate that as well.
And it wasn't just the workers. There was a guy who was like, I don't know, in charge of the workers. Yeah. I mean, he made sure we were okay. We're doing this. He would tell us, what they were doing and kept us informed. I felt like I was, a part of it and wasn't being kept in the dark. Sometimes as a woman, people treat women like they don't know what they're doing, and that did not happen.
Yeah,
okay?
or maybe communicate differently or too quick or not enough. And,
exactly, and he wasn't patronizing or anything like that.
That's important.
It was very important to me.
Yeah, no, we love hearing stuff like that. I have, well, first of all, what would you say if somebody was watching this and they're like, okay, hey, I'm on the fence about maybe getting my roof done. Why should I do my roof now? A branch hasn't fallen on it, right? Or maybe somebody's just thinking about choosing PJ Fitzpatrick to do a project on their house. What would you say to them?
Yeah, I wouldn't think twice about it. I think about the door that they put in. The door took, I think it took a month to come in.
Yeah.
So we had a broken door down there for a while, but they kept calling us. The door's ordered, it's coming in. Like they kept us up to date. So
You didn't have to call them.
Never.
They called you
No.
proactively?
They did, yeah.
That's amazing.
And so I didn't worry. I knew it was happening. I knew it was going to get fixed. I knew it would, come about. So I really liked that about them.
That communication is key. During COVID, we saw stretches where people had to wait up to a year even for windows. And, just from a manufacturing standpoint. But the companies that won throughout that time and the companies that lost, surely it was literally just on communication. Did you call your customers, or did your customers have to call you and say, where are you? What are you doing? And it sounds like your experience was that of, hey, it didn't take a year, don't get me wrong, right? But there was a delay, and there is a reality that these are manufactured products,
Sure.
right? And a mark of a great company isn't, how we grade them when everything's going great. It's when something's not perfect, or there's a delay, or there's something going on. How do they react? How do they communicate? And do they end up giving you what you expected from the beginning? And I'm assuming that's a yes here.
Yes.
I don't want to answer for you.
No, that's totally a yes. And you know what else? I got to know the people. Like when I called in, if I called into the office when we were first setting it up, when they were going to come out and everything, I knew the woman in the office. Like she would call me back then, and I would call her back. Like we would go back and forth with each other, and it was a comfortable relationship. It was the same with the gentleman who sold us the roof, who came and showed us the product and, had us pick how many years the roof would last, and et cetera. Like it was a real comfortable relationship. That's huge. I think that's huge.
Well, you're a middle school teacher, right?
Yeah,
so
I am.
any relationship that is comfortable outside of school is probably a great thing. And they worked with you because you have a demanding schedule. You can't shift your hours. You can't tell the kids to come later or earlier, right?
Absolutely not.
So my final question to you, Val, if you were to describe PJ Fitzpatrick with one word, what would it be?
Reliable. I counted on them. I counted on them to do their job right, and they did.
Awesome.
And that was the bottom line.
Awesome. Well, enjoy your new roof, and
I will.
and anything else you need with them, I'm sure they're going to be able to help you out.
Oh,
and,
they're definitely who I would call. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks again for taking the time. And
Thank
we hope,
you.
yes, and we hope that everybody enjoyed this this content. If you want to see more, you can go to PJ Fitzpatrick's website, or you can even go to our website, where we have evaluated hundreds of companies across the United States to make sure that we're putting the best list out there by talking to homeowners across the country. So, as always, power up.